Holy shit, guys. So today we got to see a brand new Nintendo Direct for the upcoming games Pokemon Sword and Shield, and we got to see a ton of new features, mechanics, and I'm really excited for this game. And so this video we're going to be discussing everything that was showed in the Direct and just my overall thoughts and opinions on everything. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing I want to say right off the bat is that the animations, specifically for like the attack animations, look awesome. I feel like there's a lot of detail that they really added to just making these attacks look as best as they could be. We got to see a little bit of more gameplay with Grookey, Sobble, and Scorbunny, and oh my god, Scorbunny fist bumped someone. That means he punched fists with someone else's fist. He punched, which is something fighters do. Oh god, Scorbunny fire type confirmed. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding, guys. But jokes aside, along with the new stars, we also got to see more of the new Galar region, and we also got to see new Pokemon, and they did go in depth about these Pokemon. They unfortunately did not say what their types were, which I was a little disappointed about that, but just to quickly go over what they showed us, we got to see Wooloo, which is a new sheep Pokemon. We got to see Gossifleur, I think I'm saying that right, which is another flower Pokemon. If I had to assume, I mean, obviously Gossifleur is going to be like a grass type, and Wooloo I think is just going to be like a normal sheep, like a normal type. I'm not 100% sure, but that's all I can think of. We also got to see Dreadnought, which I really like. This thing is literally a fucking snapping turtle, and I don't know what that's gonna be. I want to say it's maybe like a water. I mean, it's a turtle, so I definitely see water, but like, it said something about its jaw being able to bite through rocks and like metal, I think they said. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be like a steel type. So is it like a water steel type? That might be cool. But the other one they showed was Corviknight, which I actually really like. Corviknight looks fucking sick, and they mentioned that you can use Corviknight to fast travel back to places or towns you've already been to. So that's interesting, because I'm wondering if that means that you have to have that to fast travel, or is it going to be like, hey, you can still get Fly and use that like in the previous games? I don't know, but that is a really interesting thing that they mentioned. Also, they showed one evolution which was for I can't say this fucking name, Glossifer, and that Pokemon evolves into Eldegoss. These are fucking weird ass names. Yeah, so we did get to see one evolution, and I gotta be honest about the evolution animation. I honestly wasn't that impressed. Like, don't get me wrong, it looked nice, but it didn't feel as like exciting as some of the evolutions in the previous game. And I'm not talking about like what the Pokemon evolved into. I'm talking specifically about the animation itself, like the glowy shit and all that. I don't know. It just felt really quick and like not what's the word? Explosive. I don't know. I can't figure out the right way to put it. It just, to me, it felt very less exciting. I don't know what I'm doing with my fingers. Sorry, guys. But yeah, sorry, I mean, it still looked really pretty. I'll give it that. I don't know. It just didn't give me that feeling of excitement of when you're like, oh, my Pokemon's evolving. Anyway, I'm rambling, but yeah, those are the new Pokemons we got to see, and there's gonna be tons more. And they even showed some of the older Pokemon coming back to this game, which, oh yeah, my boy Growl is back. I fucking love that, which means I get Arcanine. I hope he's not exclusive to Shield, because I want to get Sword, and oh, that's gonna suck. But hopefully that's not the case. But moving on, they also showed the new wild areas. Now, they didn't show all of the wild areas. They just kind of went into details about it, which something that they brought from Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu into this game that I actually like is you can now see the wild Pokemon. They're not going to be like hidden, or like, you know, you walk into a bush and you don't see what it is until you get into the battle screen or whatever the fuck you call it. No, you actually can see the Pokemon running through the wild, which I really like, because not only does that, I mean, it does eliminate the element of surprise for when you run into a new wild Pokemon, but I feel like that makes the game and like the idea of being in a world of Pokemon more realistic, because if you think about it, you go on the wild, you're gonna see animals. So I like this new feature. But another thing they did, which is new and a big deal, is you now have complete control over the camera, which to my knowledge has not been done in a Pokemon game before. And that's great, because I remember so much time, because the camera was always fixed on a top-down perspective, I would not see shit because it's hiding behind a fucking rock and at the worst angle to where I wouldn't be able to see it. But now that I can move the camera around, I'll be able to find shit. I can actually more thoroughly look, thoroughly. I can't fucking talk in this video. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really excited. I also had a little bit of this, which might add to it. But point is, being able to move your camera is a big deal, and I am really excited for that. I am glad we can now actually look around our environment, take in the scenery, and just overall, like, I basically won't miss items or anything as much, you know? Now, another thing they mentioned, and they mentioned this on 2 different occasions, they said that different Pokemon can appear depending on where they are, like your location, and also depending on the weather. Now, the weather thing intrigues me because how does that work in the game? Does that mean that the weather changes throughout the areas, or does that mean like certain areas have set weather to them? Like, is this one area always going to be snowy? Is this other area always going to be raining? Or is it like, hey, you're in this area now and it's sunny, but at some later on in the game it's going to start raining or snowing or whatever the fuck? Like that's what I want to know. I want to know how the weather mechanics work in this game. They didn't really say how they work. They just kind of said they're in there and that affects the Pokemon that can appear. So I'm just curious as to how the weather actually works in the game. I hope they touch up more on that soon, or maybe they won't, and we'll just have to figure out when the game comes out, but still. The next thing they talked about, which is actually a really interesting new feature, it's called Dynomax. Real quick, before I go on, if you guys are wondering why I keep looking down, I'm looking at my notes that I wrote, which I wrote in my fucking My Hero Academia notebook. Yeah, I got this thing, and this thing has pretty much been my notes for my channel. But yeah, no. So they added this new thing called Dynomax, which is basically, they used to have fucking Mega Evolutions, then they had Z moves, and now the new thing is Dynomax. So, I don't know why I pointed down. I mean, I showed you my notes are down here, so I'm not pointing at my dick. So Dynomax is a brand new mechanic you can use in a Pokemon battle that you can only use once per battle. So you gotta use it wisely, and it only lasts for 3 turns. So it isn't like you can use it all the time. You have to use it at the right moment. But what it does is it turns your Pokemon into a fucking giant, and it gets like super moves. They call them max moves in the game, and they also get boost in power. So obviously the max move, boost in power, their attack's gonna be a lot stronger. I mean, I think that's obvious when you turn when you turn something into a fucking giant, it's gonna usually have stronger attacks. Also, the max moves are basically they worded it as all of the moves they know become max moves. So it isn't like a new move they get for going into Dynamax mode. I assume that's what they call it, but it's just the moves you have on that Pokemon are going to be a lot stronger, which I think I technically said earlier, so I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Sorry, guys. But yeah, no, I think that's a fucking awesome idea. Just like, imagine having a fucking, God, I'm trying to think of a weird example. Like a Tyranitar. I think that's the right one I'm thinking of. If I'm not saying the right name, I'll put him on the screen right there. But like a giant Tyranitar is basically a Godzilla. Like, come on now. Just that is such a cool idea, and I really like it. And the fact that it's only for 3 turns and you get to use it once per battle, I think is a really good way of making it like limiting. I can't say this fucking word for some reason. Limiting the usage of it so people don't abuse it and it doesn't make the game too easy. So you could use it really early and get like a head start in a battle, like weaken more of their Pokemon down, or you can use it when you later in the battle where you absolutely need it to like finish them off. There's definitely some strategies and tactics you can use with this mechanic, and I'm very interested in see like how well people can use it. Now, the next thing they added are called max raid battles. Now, these are pretty much similar to the raid battles in Pokemon Go. Now, full disclosure, guys, I actually did not play Pokemon Go. I didn't have a phone that could get the app for the longest time, which is why I never jumped on the bandwagon when Pokemon Go came out. But from what my friend has told me, it's very similar. Basically, so in this game, what max raid battles are is that they're 4-player co-op wild battles, essentially. Sorry, I couldn't think of the right word for some reason. And you battle giant Pokemon. Like you know how you can use the Dynomax to turn your Pokemon to a giant? Well, imagine going to wild, you and 4 other people fight a giant Pokemon. I feel like I over-explained that, but anyway. Now here's the thing. In the max raid battles, those Pokemon stay giant, and they have special moves. Now, I'm assuming special moves are like since they call it a max raid battle, I'm assuming those are like raid mechanics. Like maybe it has a special move where like, hey, this weakens your attacks, or fucking you can't use this type or something. Something to like give it some kind of puzzle element like a raid does. That's what I'm assuming, but by what they mean by special moves. Now the other interesting thing is it's 4 players against one giant Pokemon, but only one of you guys can use the Dynomax mechanic, which means if you have to all work together and agree on who's gonna make their Pokemon a giant to fight the other giant Pokemon. And I'm assuming, like it said earlier with the 3-turn thing, that it won't stay giant. So you still gotta use it wisely, and you gotta figure out who on your team is best to do that. So that's a really interesting, good idea, because not only does that give you a chance, or like not a chance, but like sort of a what's it called, a trump card or strategy to beat a giant Pokemon with a giant Pokemon, but it also makes it so that not everyone can do a giant Pokemon against a giant Pokemon. So it's not like 4-on-1, so it's not uneven, you know? There is some thinking involved, which I do like. And obviously, when you beat the max raid battle Pokemon or whatever the fuck, you can catch it. So that's good to know that it's not like, oh, you fight this thing as just like a fun boss fight type thing. No, I was honestly worried when they first showed that because it was a giant, you wouldn't be able to catch it. But no, you can still catch it, so that's good. And another thing too to keep in mind about these max raid battles is that Pokemon in max raid battles depend on where you are and the weather, just like in the wild area. So again, the weather and your location basically affects the Pokemon you see in the wild and the Pokemon you can fight in max raid battles. So that's something to keep in mind. Something important to keep in mind that they said in the direct is that some Pokemon can only be caught if you beat them in a max raid battle. So I'm assuming that means that you won't see this, like if you see it in a max raid battle, that probably means you won't see it in the wild. I'm assuming it means like it's exclusively only able to be caught in those max raid battles, which is interesting. I think it's a good idea because that gives you a reason to do the max raid battles. But I also am worried that that's gonna like limit the amount of Pokemon you catch. Like for example, if you beat the Dynomax Pokemon in a max raid battle, but you don't catch it, you like kill it, can you still replay that battle? Like, I don't know if like the battles or the max raid battles are replayable. I don't think they said that. Also, another thing I want to know is, do you have to have 4 players, or can you just work with what you have? Like, for example, my buddies here on the channel, me, Trevor, and Jason, I think this would be a fun thing for us to do, and we could probably make videos of it too. If you guys want to see that, let us know. But the problem is there's only 3 of us, and we don't have a 4th person. So I'm wondering do we have to have a 4th person, or can we just do it with the 3 of us? Is there online matchmaking with this? I would assume there's matchmaking. I feel like there would be for that kind of thing. But that's what I want to know is it not going to let you if you're short a team member? That's something I'm wondering. I doubt that's how it works. But I kind of want some clarification on that, just to be safe, you know? So the next thing to go over that they mentioned, and this will be really brief, but they mentioned some new characters in the game. We got to meet Leon. Well, we didn't get to meet him, but they showed us Leon, who is essentially the champion of the Galar region, and he's the greatest trainer in the Galar region, so he's the guy we're trying to beat. I'm assuming he's like the final gym boss where we gotta fight. He's like their elite 4, but there's only one of him, so I don't know if that's a good comparison. I'm assuming he's the end game. That's what I'm trying to fucking say. God damn it. We also got to meet Hop, who, by the way, I honestly think I really think that's a stupid fucking name. Who the fuck names their kid Hop? Come on. But he is Leon's younger brother, and he is our rival. Now, the rival on Let's Go Eevee I did not like. I thought he was really friendly. Like, there's nothing wrong with being friendly. It's just from the older games to when your rivals were just the biggest dick you ever met in the game, you generally wanted to beat him. Going from that to the rival in Let's Go Eevee, who was super friendly and honestly was kind of a dunce. Like, I think he was pretty stupid. It just felt like a weird transition. I didn't like it as much. I don't mind this rival being friendly, but I just hope he's not like a dumbass like the one in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was. Because I definitely got the impression from his animations and seeing him in the trailers that he looks like a friendly rival. Like, he looked like someone that you get along with and you don't like hate like in the older games. But I don't know. I'm hoping that they can just make it to where it's not as like hard to not hard, but like annoying to deal with like the rival was in Let's Go Eevee and all that. Anyway, after that, we also got to meet the professors. We got to meet, well, not professors, the technical deal was an assistant, but we got to meet Professor Magnolia, who is studying the the Dynomax phenomenon. So I'm assuming this whole Dynomax thing is going to play a big part in the story. So it's not just a gameplay mechanic. Since the professor is studying it or researching it or whatever the fuck, then I feel like that kind of hints it has a big part of the story. But we also got to meet Sonia, who is her assistant and her Professor Magnolia's granddaughter. So that's really cool to know. So not only do we have a new professor, but we have like a second character who, in a way, is like a second professor. Well, I can't say it's like a second professor, but you get what I mean. We got 2 new people to interact with. That's all I'm trying to fucking say. God damn it. I'm like, sorry, I'm really excited. I'm stuttering a lot, and holy shit, I can't talk properly in videos. I don't know why. But other than that, we also got to meet one of the new gym leaders, and that is Milo. Was that yeah, it's Milo. I had to fucking double check. And he is the grass gym leader. So guys, get your fire Pokemon ready and burn that bitch down. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that was really cool that we got to see one of the gym leaders. And we also got confirmation that the gym leaders can also use the Dynomax mechanic. So yeah, you're gonna basically giant Pokemon battles is the name of the game. Like, and that I actually really fucking like that. Like, that sounds awesome. I wonder if like a giant Snorlax would be like bigger than all the other giant Pokemon. Oh, that'd be funny. The next thing I gotta talk about, which is I'm the most excited about, is we finally got to see the new legendaries that are literally on the covers of the game, which are, I hope I say this right, it's Zacian, which is the one with the sword, and we got to Zamazenta, which Zamazenta I think is a cool fucking name. Now, gotta be straight up honest with you, I'm going with Pokemon Sword. I mean, dude, Zacian is he's basically fucking Sif from Dark Souls. Okay, he's a wolf or with a sword in its mouth. Like, how? Oh my god, I want that. I want to catch. I can basically catch Sif. It's not Sif, but it's the same fucking thing. It's a dog with a sword. Anyway, that's fucking awesome. I'm going with Pokemon Sword. I might change my mind depending on the exclusives in the games, but right now I'm leaning towards swords because I fucking love the whole like dog with a sword in its mouth deal. Something I did want to point out that I thought was interesting. They looked very similar. Like, obviously one's a shield and another one's a sword, but they're both dogs or wolves, I guess. I don't know, but anyway. And they also have like the same color design. Like, they both have the same colors. So I'm wondering if they're like twins or siblings maybe. I assume that has something to do with it because I don't know. I mean, obviously there's going to be a story, but I'm wondering if that, because they look similar, that is like going to tie into the story, and like maybe they are related. Maybe I'm wondering. I'm honestly thinking they might be twins. Like, but that, I don't know. That definitely does interest me that they don't look completely different. There are obviously some differences, but they're very similar, which did intrigue me, and I'm wondering if that's going to get explained and how that ties into the game and all that. But the last big thing is we finally got a release date. It is going to be released on November 15, 2019, which, holy shit, that's only a couple months away, and we're still trying to beat fucking Pokemon Let's Go Eevee as of this recording, and I think we can beat it by then. But I'm excited for this game. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to play it. I do kind of wish that we got to see the final evolutions for the starters, because that's something I really want to see. But, excuse me, other than that, I thought this was awesome, and I can't wait for this game to come out. E3 is also just around the corner, so I'm wondering if we're not going to see Pokemon at E3 now, which I mean, they could still probably show something, but like at this point, like what else would you even show at E3? So as of now, I'm not expecting to see Pokemon at the Nintendo E3 this year, but who knows? They might show something. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so excited for this game. And let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited? Are you going Pokemon Sword or Shield? What did you like about this Direct? And just, yeah, your overall thoughts and opinions about the Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. And don't forget to subscribe. I can't talk. Subscribe for our forgot how to do my fucking outro. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more of our videos, and hit that bell icon so you get notified when we upload some. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.